Hey there. Happy Saturday. It says live video starting. It's scrolling. Um, and now I'm live. Happy Saturday. How are you? It is 1:32 Pacific Standard Time on a beautiful day. Had some rain yesterday evening, and I thought it might rain today, but it didn't. I should be moving that around whilst I'm on it. So I wanted to get on because there's a couple of things that have been because when you're on social media, you kind of get you get to check the temperature, as it were, the temperature of people, the where the energies are, what's going on, and so okay, yeah. So there was one I was thinking about particularly, and it was addiction because on in the Vancouver Lower Mainland, Vancouver particularly, we have a huge problem with fentanyl, big problem. And there are two minds to this. There are people that believe in safe drugs, safe injection sites, and then the ability to recommend when people are ready, recommend them where to go to get to help them get over their addictions. So it's kind of more of a soft approach, I guess it were. And the idea is just to keep them alive until they're ready, until they've said, I've had enough of this freaking lifestyle and I'm ready. And there's a gentleman on X, and I don't know whether he's on Facebook, a guy, Felicia, who goes and speaks about this because he was an addict down on the downtown east side and overdosed, I don't know how many times, and they used Narcan to get him back. And then one day he just looked and said, I'm done. And she said, okay, well, let's go upstairs because they were down below. And that was the beginning of his journey. So to the other side of that is people that just say force them into treatment to get them off the streets because they're on the streets or in encampments. It's not, I don't know whether you've seen them or seen the videos. They look like zombies. And I asked someone that was more knowledgeable about this, I said, what's going on? And it's because when they get high on fentanyl, which is highly addictive, that, and fentanyl's also slipped into other drugs. So sometimes people who are in a partying, young people will end up ingesting this without even knowing it. So anyway, and it's addictive like heroin's addictive, but it's cheaper than heroin because it's made chemically in a lab. So when they get this high, if they don't keep standing, then they just fall asleep. So then they don't get to enjoy whatever the high is that they're enjoying, and it's all in their mind. Because if you look at them, you'd think, well, what are you enjoying about this? Like, what? But it's a mental thing and an emotional thing, as all addictions are. So they've shown that sometimes forced treatment works, but it's not 100% guaranteed because unless you get counseling, if they get the proper they can dry them out. But unless they get the counseling and get the root cause, and unless they give them a place to land in once they're done, if they're put into housing, with support services and counseling available to them, and perhaps a job to go to, then life's going to rip them up again. And what will they do? They will go to that thing that has given them solace, that soothes them. It's like any addiction. So I smoked cigarettes for the longest time, and then I would quit. I'd stop. I tried to stop. I don't know how many times I tried to stop. Since I started smoking at 17. And my saving grace was that I exercised a lot. So I know that just seems odd, but it helped with my my lung capacity and all that kind of stuff. Then there was a point I really had enough, and it kind of happened maybe 2 years into my intuitive growth. I went to class once a week for 6 years, to a mediumship class in a spiritualist church. That's my background. That started because I took some healing classes and then I was noticing things and thought, what am I going to do about it? I don't know how to deal with this in a way that's responsible. So then I took classes. Anyway, a couple of years into that, I'd had enough of smoking and I said, that's it, I'm quitting. And I just quit. Just like that. It was kind of amazing when I think back on it. And I still like to be around cigarette smoke. It smelled good. But I just knew that I couldn't pick up a cigarette again. Just couldn't. And I didn't for 12 years. And then something happened, and I did. And I thought, oh, well, then I won't do this again. But I did. Oh, I'll only be someone that smokes in the evening. And that didn't last. I won't smoke until the afternoon. Well, that didn't last till I was smoking again. And then I got the point after, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, I stopped. I decided I'd had enough, and I got the book, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, by Alan Carr. And so it just pointed out the polar opposites of it. Smokers, they smoke to wake themselves up, but they smoke to relax themselves. They smoke because they're stressed. They smoke because they're having a drink and they're relaxed. Like, it was just, you look at all that, you look at all the opposite of all of that, and you think, who does that make sense to? Smoking in the pouring rain, smoking outside, people don't want to be around, not to mention the cost. Outrageous. So I read that book once, and a lot of actors used it, quit smoking. Ellen DeGeneres did too. But I didn't quit after the first reading, and it just sat there, and it sat there, and it sat there. But I didn't give it away. I kept it. And then I read it again. And the cool thing about this is that you can smoke. They want you to keep smoking once you read this, and don't stop smoking till you come to the end. And that's what I did. And then I stopped, and that was that. It was easier doing it that way. I don't particularly like the smell of cigarette smoke. Anyway, all that to say, addiction, it's a mental game. And I have a house. I have a roof over my head. I have, I'm taken care of in many ways. I have food in my refrigerator. I worked part-time. I volunteered. I had a lot of support. But you know what? I didn't, at that point when I quit that second time, I didn't care what people thought about it. I was not going, oh, I quit smoking. I just didn't make a big deal out of it. It was just like a decision from one moment to the next. I'm a smoker, I'm not a smoker, so now I'm not a smoker. Period. And that's how I approached it. And so addiction is very unique to each individual, and you have to accommodate for all of those things. So we can be addicted to food. We can be addicted to, I know someone who alcoholic, and then said, Linda, I was like, and they had to stop. Had to. And he said, my guilty pleasure was chocolate for the longest time. So, now it's coffee for him. When I stopped, there was no way I was giving up my coffee because I didn't care. It just didn't seem right. It had to be some sort of, wasn't in it the second time. There was no need to think, well, I'm having a glass of wine, I should have a cigarette. No, it was just like, I'm not smoking. There are people that are addicted to the gym. If they don't go, 5 times a week, if they don't get their run in, they're addicted to running. But all of these are considered acceptable, even though often it will take them away from their families. Often it is an escape from their life. It's just a healthier escape. People are addicted to desserts, after dinner, desserts, wine in the glass of wine in the anything that you can't say, I'm stopping, I'm never doing that again, could be considered an addiction. You could be wrong about it. I could be wrong about that. But anything that you're relying upon as a way to cope. Now, relying versus when you're very aware that you're using something to soothe you in that moment, and it's not going to be something you will be doing forever. So, all that to say, I want people to be kind when they think about addicts, because there's a lot of people that are not kind in their thoughts and a lot of judgment around that. So then there I'm being led by the guides into the other thing, which was Pierre Poilievre, and so this is for entertainment purposes only, because someone's given up their seat there in their riding in Calgary so that he can run, and it's a seat that he almost guaranteed he will get, unless he's not supposed to get it, unless that's not his thing, right? But anyway, he's got someone to give up their seat, and they were 6 months away from a full pension, and you got to wonder about that. So I'm thinking, what is it? He's addicted to being a politician, I think. Another reading, I said he's fighting demons, and I do believe he is. I don't believe, he has some friends that speak very highly of him, and I believe that. But there are a lot of people that have a lot of friends that speak highly of him, and yet when they are out in the world, and they're very judgy, and they want what they want, and they want that power, and he, in my mind, he's addicted to the power that he thinks he's going to get that he was going to get by being PM, but he didn't get it. So what? He's going to be leader of the opposition again, like his second time around, against another Liberal leader. So he did a lot to himself, because it was Justin was that thing, right? Justin, who's taller and better looking and very at ease in who he was, right? And Poilievre was the total opposite of that, not at ease in. And he had a makeover, and I'm sure he had plastic surgery. He doesn't look quite the same. Sometimes he looks like he's wearing a girdle of some sort, and I guess I'm being a little judgy, and I'm also observing the lengths that he's going to try and reach this target. So now he's done that, right? And he still didn't get the PM. He went out there and he sold a Liberal platform, and he still didn't get it. And he's against someone who's older, who's not taller than him, who's cute. He's he's not good looking. He's a nice looking man. But very extremely intelligent. So what does Poilievre do with that? Is he going to go back to university and get a degree in economics and philosophy and like, I don't know, what does he do with this? Is my I'm always the wrong way. It's mirror. Anyway, sorry about that. So that's how people can be addicted to power, addicted to the accolades that they get when they're out in public life. I saw it when he was on the campaign trail and the rallies, like he was lapping it up. I don't blame him. There's something pretty powerful about being on a stage and everyone's hanging on your every word. There is. See, when I do this, I don't know what you're thinking. I may have someone watching. I may have no one watching at the time. And when you watch, you may hang on to my every word, or you go 5 minutes in and just go, well, she's full of it, and turn it off and go to something else. That's the nature of it. Anyway, I like doing it. So maybe am I addicted to it? I don't know. I think I have a gift to share. So I'm going to pull a card from Lessons in Soul Purpose Oracle card deck by Sonia Choquette, and I'm looking for one on addiction. And I have live life to the fullest. So I'm getting, they've already been talking about this. It's a judgment that you place upon yourself. Right? You place these judgments upon yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not educated enough. All these things, right? And whilst you're busy thinking that people are judging you and judging yourself, you are forgetting to live life to the fullest. See this tree with all this beautiful fruit on it. And when you live life, when you live life to the fullest, then your tree bears fruit. When you're just living and you're not giving any thought to what people are thinking about you, um, how they judge you, you don't care because you're just busy doing your thing. You're just being you. And that's the lesson in this. Just be you. Okay? You can do that, can't you? And the one underneath that, I got to talk about, live from your spirit. Okay, how am I going to, I always mess this up. Live from your spirit. And the gentleman there, he's on a tightrope. There's all these doves flying above the trees. And he's blindfolded. So he's trusting. He's trusting that his spirit is going to keep him on track. He's trusting that when he lives from that place of authenticity, where he's living life to the fullest, that his spirit will guide him into the next step. So those are two things to consider for you. Now, and when you're out there in the world and you're looking at people and you're thinking, use it as a lesson to observe and maybe create a narrative around it that's different and kinder and more loving. How about that? How about that? How about you create a different narrative, a different perspective of the world when you look out at it? Because when you do that, oh, thank you. When you do that, the world changes. When you do that, what you see changes. So when you step back and out of judgment, when you step back and out of irritation, when you step back and out of hating, whatever thing in there that you want to, then the world changes. It flips. It's like a light switch. So you do that enough, and then suddenly your whole world has transformed. Really, it's transformed. But you have to do it all the time. Flip that switch, flip that switch, flip that switch. Oop, I forgot to flip the switch. How do I feel? I feel kind of shitty right now, right? Because when you forget to flip that switch, and you haven't got it so that it's turned on all the time, then you can feel pretty shitty, and you become judgy. So it's all about stepping out of judgment, stepping into love, kindness. If you can't do love, do kindness. That's pretty easy to do. Be kind. Be kind to the people out there. And look and see how that kindness is returned to you. Okay. So claim your art. So your art is your life. Claim it. Oh, again, I can't get this up close in. Claim your art. And there's a hand there. And that hand has got a river running down a fingertip and fire and the hand that gives, the hand that receives. This is important to claim your art, claim who you are, claim your part in the world that sends out the goodness and the light, that shines the light, that smiles upon the world, as well as everyone, not just the little kitties and the dogs and stuff. That is frickin' easy. Go for the hard stuff. Go for the gold, guys. Go for the gold. Okay, 18 minutes in, I'm shutting this thing down. I think I'm going to get one more card from a deck I used to use all the time by Doreen Virtue, because I like decks with one word or a couple words on, because then my guys can it's a lazy way in. So, and they're laughing and going, no, it's not. It's just an easier way in. And I'm hearing them say it's okay to find the easier way in. What is it about, thank you, that we think hard work is the only way to go? It is not the only way to go. So find the easy way in. Find the easy way into things you want to do. And then this last card for you. Boop, boop, here we go again. Are you dizzy yet? Retreat, 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 retreat. So this is retreating, thank you, back to who you are. Retreating back into the true essence that you are. Be you. That's coming up so often right now. Is be you, be you. It's interesting. Can I talk for just a minute more? I had a dream last night. It was such a weird dream, really an odd dream, and I was in this big room, and I knew there was an event that was being planned, event that was going to happen, but the room was empty. And then off to the right there was a bank with television screens on it, loads of television screens, and Tucker Carlson was in it, and I was like, Tucker Carlson doesn't need to be here. And then suddenly it was gone, right? And so then I'm like looking, and I know I have to prepare this room, and but there's no one to help me. And then Trump walks through the room, and I say, is there anyone that can help me prepare this room? And he looks at me and just shakes his head and keeps going. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'm it. I am not flustered. I am not anxious. I'm not anything. I'm like, okay, I'm it. What do I do next? And so I just said, I went to get some paper. I don't know why I was looking, but I found a room with some paper in it. And then I went to look for something else. And then I woke up. So it was interesting that, to me, I interpret that dream as meaning that I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not. Nothing's going to throw me off my game anymore. And I know that I will know when things are out of kilter, when they're not supposed to be there, when that's not supposed to be in my world. Thank you. So pay attention to your dreams and kind of talk them out, write them out, and maybe get a sense of what they're all about. So on that, 21 minutes in, I'm done. It's Saturday. I'm going out into the sunshine. We're going out to a friend's house for dinner. I said I'd bring dessert, so I'm on my way to find a nice dessert. Since they're feeding us, I always love when someone else cooks for me. It's a bonus, isn't it for you too? So go for your joy. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your weekend, and you do you. Don't ever forget to do you. Love ya. Bye.